Paul Moore, founder and managing director, El Presidente. Welcome to Golf Chip TV.
Thank you. Good to be here. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Paul, everybody is talking about you online for various reasons at the moment, all positive, I'd like to add. Is it possible that Padraig Harrington, after winning his 3 majors, would not require eye surgery had he discovered your products in time?
Oh, yeah, perhaps. But we have a great set of sunglasses with a patented lens that's designed really to enhance performance for golf. And so we're just trying to get the word out to, really players of all level. We'd love to have Padraig wearing them, but it's just a superior lens, and we've had a lot of success already.
Now, when did you how old is the company? Tell me about the company's formation.
Well, yeah, the company's about 10 years old, but we, things start slowly, and we had built the company up really nicely until the economy tanked, and you hear that probably from everybody in the golf business,
Yeah.
or a consumer product like we have. And then, it was a struggle to survive, but we held on to everybody's amazement through the difficult times. And really just a little over a year ago, we moved the business and everything down to South Florida. And, it's kind of golf's mecca down here. We're, 15 miles from Jupiter, and that's where all the big names live and hang out. And about 2 years ago, we partnered with Jack Nicklaus and have a line called Nicklaus Eyewear. And, Jack is down in the Palm Beach area. So it just made sense to have the company located here in Florida, as I call it, the perpetual state of sunshine.
Well, thanks for rubbing it in. You know that the rest of us in Europe are absolutely freezing. If I said you were in Europe to our viewers at the moment, they'd think you were the bravest man in the world, but you can see the sun peeking through.
Well, we were in Kansas, so I can tell you the winters there were very difficult to survive. So we've actually got a little bit of Irish skies up here today in Florida, so kind of a rare treat for us.
Okay, well, I better say nothing more about it. We do have some children watching, but so listen, you came up with the idea of the lens, of the product itself. What was your background?
Yeah, I was in ophthalmic healthcare and diagnostics, so I really came out of the healthcare industry, and we would evaluate, a lot of things related to vision. We had an intraocular lens, when you have a cataract, one of those bad cataracts that are caused primarily by overexposure to ultraviolet radiation. And so, I evaluated golf sunglasses, and really sunglasses for a lot of sports, golf, baseball, skiing, tennis, and just found they all distorted. And when I quit my paycheck, as my wife puts it, we decided to change that and developed really an amazing lens technology. It's called Dual Zone Zero Distortion. And it's based on the principle that if you get a lens dark enough to manage the bright sun and glare overhead, it's too dark for the turf. If you look down at green grass turf or asphalt or, really pretty much anything below the horizon, that only reflects about 5% of the ambient light source in the sky. So you get this nice dark filter. And that's great if you're trying to track your ball in flight or whatever, but it's way too dark, for ground-based vision. So we patented, or as you say in Ireland, patented, putting 2 filters in the lens. So we have neutral gray in the upper zone that effectively manages glare while accurately maintaining depth perception. And then in the lower zone, we have high contrast amber that allows 3 times more visual information into your eyes below the horizon. And it does that with increased contrast. So you see the break in the green much better. Our old friend David Faraday calls them reading glasses for greens. And they really have become a great tool and an asset for a lot of PGA Tour players and their caddies.
Yeah. Well, I'm 44 years young. I'm a former A-grade shooter who found out he couldn't hit a barn door. And I wanted to, I brought my Pradas, my Boom Time purchase glasses, and over, they had a real problem with building a proper lens for me. Now, obviously, you have you solved that problem, or are you on the way to solving it?
You're talking about a prescription pair?
I'm talking about prescription, but even with no matter what any of the viewers think, they are going to end up either needing glasses, or it's just one of those things to go after the money, the love, the usual list. But I just get the feeling that your glasses could help so many people, not just for sport.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the challenge that we've had really with the young tour players is, they feel fairly invincible, and most great athletes have great vision, and so I understand well the challenge of, now I'm going to put a distorting lens over my great vision, and that's why golfers just historically, wouldn't wear eye protection. But by the time a player gets, even early to mid 30s, especially a golfer, somebody that spends, 6-8 hours a day out in the sun, they've damaged their eyes, with the UV exposure, and all of these issues that eventually will set in, for most of us, set in really at an earlier age, for golfers. So, we've been able to create a lens that eliminates the distortion. Everybody else uses a lens material that's called polycarbonate, and they went to that about maybe 60 years ago for eye protection, from impact resistance. And so back then they just had glass lenses, and you got hit with a ball or a golf club or whatever, and it's going to cut your eye out. Yeah. So it was a great thing in the day, but it never really had great optical performance. And so our new lens has achieved the optical clarity of glass, like it's called crown glass. It's a kind of glass used in camera lenses, and yet it's impact resistant. So it brings the safety factor that you're looking for, whether you're playing golf or riding a bike or shooting or any kind of sport where you want that impact resistance. Now you can have optical glass clarity with with impact resistant safety.
Without mentioning companies, every major company has brought out glasses at some period.
Yeah.
As a professional that you are, do you ever pick up, without naming companies again, their product and just go, oh my God, this is rubbish? Because I as a non-professional, I get sent every single golf product, every single pair of glasses, every single pair of sunnies, and most of them are rubbish.
Yeah. I do that all the time. It's just really frustrating. We'll go to a lot of events. There have been a lot of tournaments that will pick our product as a tee gift, PGA Tour events. We've got LPGA event next week. And so it's always interesting because you've got, 150, 200 people that are getting this product on their eyes for the first time. And most of them, especially down here in South Florida, will have some kind of sunglasses that usually end up on top of their head, to strike the ball. Mm-hmm. And so it's just always amazing to me, when they either take theirs off and put ours on, or just put ours on, just the reaction that we get from them. And, I'll have people say, why have I not heard about this product before? Especially when they find out that we've been in business for a while. And, I chalk it up to my lack of marketing skills, but it really is a substantially superior product. just to give you an idea, our lens, we spend about 8 times what, I won't say the brand, but one of the big brands spends on their lens. Unfortunately, a lot of sunglass marketing has really become wrapped up in style and how you look in them rather than how you look out of them or how you see out of them. And so it's just really exciting to, especially a low handicap golfer. If you get a really high performance golfer and you put these on, it's just like lights out. They're blown away with their vision. And so we've got, we have some nice tour players and caddies that wear the product. Probably our most prominent one right now has been Kevin Streelman. And both he and his caddy, AJ Montesinos, wears the product. And, Kevin won the Travelers Championship with 7 birdies in a row to finish, to win. And, he said something happened on about the 12th hole. He said, I just started seeing the break and I knew that every putt was going in. And that's the kind of performance that your sunglasses ought to be delivering. And that's really what Peak Vision does. And nobody else can say that. We have a patent on the dual zone lens, and that's really the key.
Again, while fashion isn't the priority, you still have produced some seriously fashionable sunnies.
We've got some smoking hot styles. We've got a new 2015 line coming in that is just going to rock. It's not quite as pure sport as we've been historically, because what we found was that, some of these sport sunglasses get really goofy looking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so we've taken the line to where it has that sport performance, but has a cooler fashion look to it. Everything we have is equipped with this dual zone zero distortion lens technology. So it really improves your ability. And that's really what, equipment ought to do.
Yeah.
It ought to bring out the best in your game, not distract from your best.
Yeah. Well, Paul, I'll certainly be buying one of your one of those the last sunnies you had there.
Cool.
Anything that can improve my life in any shape or form, I'm in. I'm like every golfer; I'll buy every product. Listen, you've survived the worst recession in golf. We've had a few. We've had foot and mouth. We've had various different hurricanes, everything else. What advice would you have for other business owners?
Just stick with it and if you've got a great product, keep believing in it. Don't let the big guys, keep batting you down. And, we've been locked out of certain events, key events, because, the big sunglass companies went in and negotiated an exclusive. And it kind of ticks you off, as you might imagine, just to be a little guy out there with a much better product.
Yeah.
But just keep at it as long as you're able to. Don't let the bad things that happen, and bad things happen to everybody. And don't think it's all about you, but think about what your product can do for, people that are rabid about their sport or whatever they're involved with. And it's just tenacity, man. That's all you can do is just stick with it. Keep believing in what you're doing.
Well, Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you here this morning. Thank you so much for getting up so early. And I noticed that the sky is changing colours in the background, so I think I definitely need one of your products. All I can close with now, Paul, is may your God go with you, whomever your God may be.
Thank you, brother. Keep the faith.